Hello everyone. Today I wanted to talk about a little story of mine. So let's start the story time. Okay, so basically was what 6 years ago. So in the early stages of my awakening, I was just starting to make some health changes in my life, and I was still drinking heavily every weekend, and I was still pretty miserable and stuff. But I was just starting to meditate and do some self work and stuff. And so I went to this bar. You know, I was having a beer, and during that time I was still smoking cigarettes every day, like a pack every 2 days. It was pretty bad. But anyways, so I went to that bar. I was having a beer on the counter and stuff, and I was just having a beer, whatever. And then there was this other guy, on the counter as well. He was having a couple beers. It was basically a sports bar, and he was watching the TV or whatever. And then he started chatting with me, and then all of a sudden, then he was like, "Hey man, you know what? We went outside having a smoke, and we went back inside, and we went we went along. We were kind of on the same vibe, I guess, a little bit. He was pretty cool, I find. Anyways, so we're chatting and everything was cool, and then all of a sudden he decided to pay my beers. Hey man, yeah, you know what? I'll pay your beer. You're a cool guy, and stuff. I was like, okay, cool. And then we continued having some drinks, and then he started to open up a little bit to me, and I was quite surprised. Basically, he told me that he actually won the lottery a couple years prior, and basically he was telling me how miserable he actually was because everybody around him was actually begging him for money, and they were trying to manipulate him to get all the money out of him. And all of a sudden, everybody wanted to hang out with him, and everybody wanted him to actually lend him some money or give him some money. And the reason was just, well, you have all this money, why don't you give some to us? And even his own family member were actually begging and harassing him almost, like for him to give some money. And he actually bent, and he gave a lot of his money, not all of it, but he gave some part of it. He paid like a car to his brother. He gave a lot of money to a lot of family members and stuff. And people in his family and friends and stuff like that were still, keeping asking. And basically, he was telling me how miserable he was because the relationship he had with people around him was completely different now. People didn't even view him as a person anymore. They only view him as a wallet. And it was very, very sad about this. And actually, he started even crying because later on since he opened up and stuff, I was like, you know what, you're a cool dude. Let's come to my place. We'll have a couple of drinks and chat. Maybe we could be friends or whatever. And so I went to my place and stuff, and he started crying, and he opened up, and it was very, very sad. And he basically told me that he wished that he actually never ever won the lottery. That was such a big statement. I guess he probably wasn't prepared monetarily or mentally to be able to handle low vibe people or people that are trying to take advantage of him. He never was prepared for that. So, I guess becoming rich all of a sudden maybe isn't the best thing. But, so maybe it's better if it's a more gradual thing. But so, moral of the story, it's not, money won't really make you happy, especially sudden money. If it's money that is a manifestation from like your hard work, and let's say you started a business or whatever, then okay, then you've worked for it, right? You've put all those efforts, and then it's kind of worth it. But if you just get money just like that, you don't appreciate it as much either. And basically, back then I had like all those ideas. Oh, maybe I should start this company. Maybe I should start this company or whatever. And I just randomly popped that subject up, and I in a conversation, and I said, oh yeah, I was thinking maybe open a company, and it was kind of funny because it was kind of a manifestation. This guy was like, oh well, I got a lot of money, whatever. I can actually help you build that company. Like if you're sure about it, like we can start next week or whatever. I was like, oh my god, I was so overwhelmed. I was not prepared for that at all. And basically later on, that same evening, he received a call from his own brother, and basically he was screaming at his brother on the phone, and I was quite shocked. I was like, oh my god, okay, like he was like for a very trivial reason, and only for stupid things, very stupid minor things, and he had so much resentment in his heart, so much anger, I guess, at all the people that tried to manipulate him around him, and it wasn't a very pleasant vibe to see. And at that moment, I realized, I was like, you know what? Even though that opportunity presented itself, um, I think it might have been like a test from the universe as well for me. Because like basically, I saw that this guy was very very aggressive, and very, like, he was not grounded whatsoever. And I was in my head, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't start this company right now. Maybe like it's probably not a good idea. Well, I wouldn't want to have a company and have a business partner that funds my company that is like that. I do not want to surround myself with people like that people that are extremely aggressive, that are not grounded at all, that that they're just stuck in those low vibrations, anger, fear, and everything. It was, but anyways, so I never did anything. I never spoke to him ever again because it was very, I don't know, I was kind of repelled by his energies. But it was a very interesting evening, hearing about a story and everything. And, it just makes you think a lot, right? That you could be even a millionaire and be super sad and extremely depressed inside. And but there are some millionaires that are super happy. There's some poor people that are miserable, and there are some poor people that are super happy as well. So money isn't the solution. It's really following your heart's desire, really following, anyways, your true purpose, your what you're here to do on this earth. And if you haven't found that out yet, but you really have to do a lot of inner work inside, right? Meditate, prayer, whatever works for you, right? To really find that thing that makes you happy. And eventually, that thing that makes you happy could actually make you rich, because you're going to be like kind of in that trance, right? You're going to be in the zone, let's say. Like you won't see time fly by. You'll just be doing something that you actually like, and eventually, with the law of attraction, everything will come to you in due time, of course. But you got to put the work as well. But it's all about following what you like, and not just thinking that money or sudden money will actually make you happy. I had the perfect example that evening. Anyways, I just wanted to share with you guys this story. I hope you guys have a great day. Take care. Peace.